welcome to Let Them Eat Cake. My first reading, this is article posted on December 12th, 2016. Obama, the child emperor, has no clothes. The current White House occupant, Barack Hussein Obama, reveals his disdain for democracy and rule of law. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Final days of divider-in-chief, Obama fraught with incompetent childish behavior and trashing of America and the Constitution. Because he is and always was being an amateur. How did he get in this position anyways? He has no idea how to be president. Thank God the founding fathers of this great nation formulated a government with checks and balances where no one person can assume too much power at the expense of the governed. However, this has not stopped many would-be tyrants, such as Obama, from amassing as much dictatorial powers as they can. This is not to absolve the Republicans in Congress from their complicity in his incompetence, for they are guilty as well. They are guilty by association, and by their actions they shall be judged. The hard truth of the matter is that all three branches of our government institutions have been infiltrated, corrupted, and filled with yes men and women of the deep state. The hidden hand that works behind the scenes to assure the same corrupted elite of the ruling class oligarchy of generational Satanists stay in power. Their rule is coming to an end, as we shall see. Where have we gone wrong? Just when did our republic stray off the path of a truly representative government? I could point out numerous circumstances and instances that the deep state has diminished the power of the people to consolidate more power and control into the hands of the few. However, this is already well documented and common knowledge among the patriot community. We must move forward, and so we shall. Here are some well-researched and documented resources of information to begin your quest for the truth if you are unfamiliar with the real history of the United States. Check out the links on EatCake.US. The year was 1776. The date, July 4th. The Declaration of Independence was signed and American Revolution against the global British Empire begins. Flash forward, the year 2016. The date, November 8th. Declaration of Independence from same global empire infiltration and subversion of United States government and institutions by voting for Donald J. Trump as a message and popular uprising of the masses, the silent majority that will not be silenced, in what medieval times would be referred to as a peasants' revolt, if you will. Like it or not, this movement will not be stopped no matter who is occupying the office of the presidency. We, the people, will assure the American Revolution continues, and we will restore the Constitution and the rule of law in this country and return prosperity for all the people. Rogue CIA Nazi forces attempt to overthrow of election and subversion of democracy. Just last week in an interview with CNN, Obama blamed the intelligence community for failing to warn him about the rise of ISIS, even though he ignored their own reports. This includes a Defense Intelligence Agency report in 2012 that detailed how the Syrian civil war was allowing al-Qaeda to flourish and could help them declare an Islamic State. This was ignored by the White House, according to then DIA Chief Retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, President-elect Trump's pick for National Security Advisor. Quote, "This particular report, this was one of those nobody wanted to see," he told the New York Times in 2015. It was disregarded by the White House, elaborating, frankly, at the White House, it didn't meet the narrative. Now the latest stunt by foreign-born, illegal White House occupant and lifelong CIA asset liar-in-chief Barry Soetoro, also known as Barack Hussein Obama, in ordering an investigation into supposed Russian hacking of DNC emails to influence the election results, is nothing more than a last-ditch effort by the communist radical Muslim puppet of the globalists to overthrow the electoral process and delegitimize a Trump presidency. This is about as naked a sore loser can get. Their disdain for the rule of law is apparent considering the fact that millions of voters made their voices heard in an unprecedented voter turnout and elected Donald Trump as the 45th President of the United States of America. A wonderful quote by Donald J. Trump. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. First of all, why should we believe anything that the Obama cronies and minions that currently head the intelligence agencies when they are trained liars and disinformation agents? It is their job to lie and overthrow governments. That's what they do. Remember the so-called weapons of mass destruction in Iraq used to justify the invasion that turned out to be made-up lies? How about Benghazi, Iran-Contra, Gulf of Tonkin incident, Bay of Pigs fiasco, JFK assassination, Pol Pot, etc.? The list goes on and on. The fact is, the rogue elements of the CIA have been working to infiltrate and subvert our government and those around the world for the benefit of the global elite since its inception by the British OSS in 1947. President Truman even admitted in his memoirs he never should have allowed their creation and infiltration by Nazi scientists after World War II, which was known as Operation Paperclip. Second of all, there is absolutely no evidence of Russia being connected to the hacking. That is just made-up BS. The CIA mouthpiece rag Washington Post article cites unnamed sources, inconclusive evidence, and false assumptions coming from intelligence agencies who are headed by political appointees of the establishment, also known as henchmen. This is just meant as a distraction because those within the intelligence community itself were behind the hacking and leaking of emails. This has been confirmed by retired intelligence officials and whistleblowers such as Steve Pitchnik. Sorry if I slaughtered the name. These are patriots and U.S. military flag officers who are still loyal to the Constitution, acting in concert with an international alliance to go directly against the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate and global cabal that are hell-bent on destroying America's sovereignty, wealth, and Constitution so they can install a global fascist-style government. This will never happen as the cabal has overplayed their hand and they know it. They think they can just hide out in their underground bunkers, but the establishment has destroyed many of these in the past few years. The final decapitation of the Bush-Clinton cabal is nearly complete. Stay tuned for more updates on this subject and other libertarian views of current events and insightful, funny sports analysis by subscribing below. Spread the word and be ready for anything. Expect the unexpected. Meanwhile, eat cake, Obama. Quote of the week from Kathleen Nenneman on Facebook. Why is it so hard to believe and trust that Mr. Trump won on his own merit? If it's not a recount, fake news, racist middle class, it's the Russians. Pretty soon the liberals will run out of things to use as an excuse for losing. Then what? Global warming and its effect on the population? Trust me, Kathleen, they'll think of something. Update. John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador for the United Nations, has stated in an interview Sunday on Fox News that he believes the Russian hacking assertion may be a false flag. He is quoted as saying, "If you think the Russians did this, then why did they leave fingerprints that led to the CIA to its conclusion?" Bolton questioned. "We would want to know who else might want to influence the election and why they would leave fingerprints that point to the Russians. That's why I say until we know more about the intelligence community came to this conclusion, we don't know whether it is Russian-inspired or a false flag." And he added, "But I believe that intelligence has been politicized in the Obama administration to a very significant degree." Read more on EatCake.US. Thanks for listening. That article by Dick Rada.